Hello and welcome to the computer of Fusta 2005. Today we're going to do a short overview of Microsoft Flight Simulator as well as how it looks running on my current system with the NVIDIA RTX 2060 graphics card. I'm sorry this is taking so long to put together. I actually have tried to put this together several times, had trouble with my hard drive, ended up having to wipe a lot of my content out, start over. Ended up having problems with my microphone. It didn't sound very good, and I try to make it as best as I can so it's not a totally crappy video. So I ended up having to get a headset and try to get that to work, and so on and so forth. So excuses aside, we're going to put this together and hope it turns out good. If any of you have been playing Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, please note down in the comments below what your configurations are, what works best for your system. If you have a similar graphics card to mine, I welcome feedback. Also, a disclaimer: I am not a trained pilot at all, so some things may transpire here in the video that aren't correct. Please don't try not to make fun of me. I am definitely not a pilot, so crashes and incorrect landing procedures may ensue. So just a heads up on that. Mostly I play Microsoft Flight Simulator just to get my mind off of things and see places that I've never been, because this is, to be quite honest, this is a very a good game to go visit places that you've never been. For example, I did in the latest update they did Japan and updated Japan and all the points of interest and landscape there, and it's pretty true to life. So it was kind of fun to take 2.5 hours and fly across Japan and see everything that way, since I've never been there, and I don't think we will in the near future. So just stuff like that is fun to do. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this is the home screen here, and there's several things you can do. They do kind of fun spotlight events. This one's for Halloween. I'm sure they'll have one for Christmas, but they come up with new, these are landing challenges. They come up with new landing challenges every once in a while. The world map, you can go pretty much anywhere in the world. We'll head out to Hawaii in a little bit, but yeah, so you can choose any plane you want. Let's see here. I actually bought the highest version of Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is like a Deluxe Plus or something like that. But it's the $120 one, and it came with all of these airplanes, and it looks like they've added some new ones along the way as well. But yeah, so we got all these airplanes. My personal favorite is the amphibious one. I definitely like trying to land on water. There's a lot more, at least in the game specifically, there's a lot more margin of error, and you can just land on any lake you wish. Can't do that in real life, obviously. But yeah, any aircraft you want pretty much is in here. We got some Piper Cubs for some bush flying. We'll mess around with this a little bit more later. Obviously, I talked about the spotlight. If you want to do specific flight training and get your virtual wings, as it were, they do have the option to do that. It kind of gives you a basic overview of what you would experience in real life. And I think this is a Cessna 150. Don't quote me on that, but you can correct me in the comments below. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty basic aircraft, pretty easy to fly. So there's that. You can do activities. I've done several of the landing challenges. They do have bush trips as well. These generally take longer, so I haven't done them. Landing challenges, a lot. You can do just fun spots. You can do the short airstrips, which several of them are like in the jungle that kind of go uphill, and those are kind of fun. Strong winds are pretty difficult, as you can see, crab angle there. I've done a few of those. Those are pretty difficult to get a good score on, at least for me, for a professional pilot that actually flies a commercial airliner. Probably not so much. So there's that. As I said, there's the free world update. You can go and fly across Japan. That's a pretty cool place to go. I haven't spent a lot of time in the flight simulator, as you can see, 7 hours, so that's not too bad. Too much time, but I plan on spending a lot more time. You can change your plane skins or liveries, stuff like that. Man, I'm not sure what's going on there, but there's the log book that kind of every time you go flying, it'll log your time and where you flew from, and I don't know how many times you crashed, stuff like that. Marketplace. This is probably one of my favorite areas to kind of check out every once in a while. Basically, you can check out. You can go to any airport. So Microsoft Flight Simulator itself comes with a lot of different, like, true to life developed airports. And if you fly out of a specific airport, say it's your home airport and it somehow pops up here. Let's see, full catalog. We can go to, say your home airport is Plant City Municipal. I have no idea where that is, but if you want to buy, some developer came out and did a true to life develop of the airport, so you can get that for $750. If you like going into specific airports, you can do that. Copenhagen there. Let's just filter it, so you can go to specific airports, you can go to local airports. Hey, all these small town airports, some people built them true to life. You can go to specific landmarks, so you can go to let's see, go to Mexico City or London or Moscow. One that I haven't bought, but I actually it has really good reviews, so this one not so much, but like Moscow and Washington, I'm not sure. Oh, Drzewiecki Design developed those, and they're apparently really good, and you can't normally fly over Washington DC, so that's pretty cool. And of course you can go to aircraft, and apparently there are a lot more developers developing aircraft. So I hear that sometime in the near future we might get like an F-18 or some World War II era aircraft like the Spitfire, or like the Black Widow. I think you can Google it, and there's different developers coming up. And eventually they'll show up in the marketplace here, because that makes sure that it's completely compatible with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I know in previous iterations of Microsoft Flight Simulator, you had to like download the pack and put it in a specific folder and make sure, and sometimes it didn't work properly, so the plane was all messed up. And or it didn't show up at all. Now with the marketplace, it's kind of like an iOS or a Google Play Store, App Store kind of situation where you can just go in and buy these aircraft, and they've already been vetted, and they will work with your Microsoft Flight Simulator, and so I think that's pretty cool. I prefer that way. I know it was kind of fun playing around with folders and stuff, and I could get weird aircraft into the Microsoft Flight Simulator X or 1998. I've pretty much played every flight simulator known to man, even all the way back to Chuck Yeager's Flight Instructor. I don't know, many of you probably know what that is, but it was 5.5-inch floppy disk that you plugged in, and you put in your cassette tape into the player, and Chuck Yeager himself would let you teach you how to fly. So let's go down here to Hawaii. I know Pearl Harbor's out here, but let's go to one of these airports out here. Let's go with the Cessna Grand Caravan. I kind of like that. Could do, I haven't played with this one over here. It's probably really squirrely, but let's give it a shot. You can choose your flight conditions. You go with live. Let's see, multiplayer. Keep that off. Live weather. Oh, hello. It's a thunderstorm there. Well, that might be good for graphics, but let's see. Alright, let's see what happens. So, what time is it? It's November 5. It's like 6 p.m. So, 7 a.m. their time? Wow. What time is it here? I guess it is. Alright, so let's head out. So while this is loading up here, just kind of a quick update on my joystick. I did decide to stick with the Thrustmaster HOTAS, the one that I reviewed in my previous video. After playing around with it for 7 hours, I was able to get it to work properly, and I see the reasoning why why the throttle is kind of loose, because really your hands on it quite often, because I have my pitch control and my flaps and gear and everything on it, so I'm constantly holding on to it for the most part. So man, yeah, sure is. Boy, I certainly hope I can take off in this. It's got quite the thunderstorm going on. So yeah, anyway, I stuck with the joystick, and so we'll keep playing with it and see how it goes. Alright, so let's just, before we take off here, I will do a quick we'll do a quick overview of what my graphics are here, what I'm set at. So basically, I'm at 4K resolution. I have it set at high end. When you first load into the game, if you've never loaded in before, it'll say, hey, your system is set up. It's got this graphics card. This is the best setup for it. So obviously you can go through and change all of the stuff you want. But it said that it was best set up for a high-end setup, which is right underneath Ultra. And they only really have 4 different settings. You can also do custom if you want, which will show up if you start messing around with rendering and stuff. Yep, there it goes. But I personally, high end, it with my graphics card, it does okay. It's not super great. The super great shows up when I have it at medium. Everything's really smooth. This can get choppy if you get into a really populated area. I can run ultra setting, but it's really choppy. So we'll take off with high end, and then we'll kind of play with the graphics in the air. I'll kind of show you the differences. There's you can go up to 60 frames per second. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Let's go to let's discard any of my changes and go back out. All right, so yeah, I mean the cockpits are really detailed. You can go pretty much anywhere you want. Look at you can play with any of the buttons you want. You can be as advanced or simple as you want. You can play with everything individually. But yeah. So let's head out here and take a look at the graphics around here. So I don't really like the graphics on any setting of the Lightning. They didn't do a really good job of that. Let's see, does this have flaps? This doesn't even have flaps. Alright, well this is going to be fun. Let's get out of here. I like how they have everything. Oh, this takes up a little short. I like how they have everything set up out here. You can see all of the necessary cockpit stuff. So right now we're on ultra high. You can see a little bit of jitter, but it's not horrible. Gonna do a roll on this. Oh man, this is definitely a stunt plane. They do have another one. I forget what it's called. I'd have to look, but they do have another stunt plane. So for those of you who like to do the stunts, they are there. The stunt planes, they are there. Let's see if we can do a loop close to the ground.
Tower, Pits Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra frequency change.
Alright, so you can mess around with weather and stuff when you're
approach Pits Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra
as well. But like I said, there's a little bit of jitter and there's quite a bit of graphics stuff going on because you got the thunderstorm. So let's go up here and change the weather. So I want clear skies. Alright. So there. Now you can see it's kind of smoothed out a little bit. So ultra is really good. Ultra high. Not ultra high, but high end is pretty good when the skies are clear. There's not much. There's a little bit of jitter. But anyway, let's get over these trees here. I can go to, let's go ahead and put it on ultra. My graphics card, I don't know if you can hear it, but you can hear the fan going pretty good. But let's see here. Apply and save. We'll just say straight ultra and get out of here. Alright, So there's a little bit more jitter. Let's get closer to the trees, because the trees get really detailed, and the graphics jitter tends to happen a little bit more when you're closer to the ground. So, like, the graphics are really good. I just wish, you could see it a little better with the jitter, but I mean, it's not horrible. If you really want graphics and you don't mind the jitter very much, that's kind of a personal preference. It bugs me after a while. So let's go to medium here. What am I doing? There's so many things I have not messed with. So if you have like a specific, like I said earlier, if you have like a specific setup that works with the RTX 2060 specifically, that you could get kind of the best of both worlds, where you kind of customize it, please put some screenshots down below. I'd love to hear it. But yeah, what was I doing? Putting it on medium. All right, there you go. Let's get out of here. Oh yeah, that's smoothed out quite a bit. And really, it just pulls things off the ground, so there isn't as many houses and such like that. So really, I mean, you're in an airplane, so the higher up in the sky you go, the more smooth it's going to be. This is just beautiful. Really, the graphics don't change too much. It just pull, if you say, I don't want as many things on the ground. So the map data doesn't change, but the amount of buildings that are automatically populated on the ground get less. Like, you can see the city here, it's a lot less building populated than it was. Like like I said, the map data is there, but this plane is just really squirrely. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Let's get closer to the water. We can. And you can definitely over speed your aircraft, so you gotta pay attention. And also, if anybody has any like trim tips, that would be welcome too, because I have no idea how to trim an aircraft. Like I said, not a pilot. Alright, so we're on medium right now. It's a lot smoother. It is a lot smoother for sure. So the water effects are just not there very much. So let's just go up to high end. So yeah, now you can see the water's a little bit more detailed. It's actually not bad. don't think there's any difference. Grass and bushes. Texture. Where's the water one? Water waves. High. So is it any different on ultra? I guess it is. Nope. So that is good as it's gonna get. The water. Oops. So I mean, it's pretty good. You got the reflections on the water. I mean, this is pretty good for what it is. Let's go ahead and land this thing and get it out. I am way low, but that's okay. Whoa. Let's see if I crash this thing to end out the video. Anyway, yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, not about my flying skills, but how you man, this thing is squirrely. Touch the brakes because this is gonna go end over end. These tail draggers tend to be the hardest to fly. Anyway, like I was saying, if you guys have any comments on graphic settings or, like I said, how to trim out an airplane, please put them in the comments below. That's pretty much it. We safely landed. The graphics are great. I encourage you guys to check out Microsoft Flight Simulator if that's something that interests you, and like and subscribe to the video. Hit the bell notification. I don't post too often, especially since I just lost everything, but hopefully I'll have some new content soon, and we'll see you guys on the next one.